Hey, good evening. Hope everyone is well. And here is another markets recap for today, the 3rd of October, 2025. What an exciting day to be alive. Okay, it's another exciting day of the market today. Um, it's quite important actually. It's quite interesting. There is a lot of show. What do we have? I think first and foremost, the the government shutdown is on day three of the government shutdown, and so I have been watching the money flow. But let's just firstly look at the cues, and if you look at the cues again, the market. Oops, sorry, the market was slightly. I think it was on a downer today, and oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Sorry, just realized. Okay, so the market was on a downer today on the cues, and if you look at it, we do have. Hold on a second. Yeah. So what do we have today? It was about 0.42, but that is the key index because the main wider breadth was or the internals was a lot higher. I think they were higher in spots really. So it was another great day to be at the market. I think a few key things to pay attention to also was there was a bit of a money flow, a bit of a shift, and I'm going to be talking about that today. Quite a few things to get through. Let's firstly look at the commodity. So, cocoa, which has been a mainstay for me, it's that was a crazy betrayal, if I can call it. It went well. I mean, I think that's expected. We know there's weakness in the cocoa, regardless of in the cocoa market, regardless of what the headline says. And cocoa's been back now on a well, let's have a look. So it's back to his October lows of 2024. So it's down to a 13-month low. And if I'm gonna see how down it's been from the latest or the lowest highs that we have, I think we probably could see right here. So, oops, sorry, I should be looking down. Yep. So it's dropped about 50% since May this year alone. But if you're going to look at it from January 2025, we have uh, thereabout. Okay. Yeah, from thereabout. Yeah, cocoa. It's actually we've been trading internally here, but cocoa's been down a whopping 45% this year as a commodity. And I noticed something as well. This is actually similar with other commodities. If we which I pay attention to anyway. So I mean, I'm just going to show some of them here. Soybeans, soybeans has been dead money here as well. I mean, it's the same market we trade in. So if you look at soybean here, soybean is on literally on a multi-year all-time low, and that's literally what we're looking at right here. Similar for some of the other soft commodities, I think corn as well, which I do which is like a meal regularly. Again, corn has been excessively or extremely down. So again, corn has been down aggressively. So what are the few key things I wanted to point out here? I think money rotates in the market. When did we get the bull market? Started from the stock market. I think it started in April. And what we noticed was, look, money moved out in corn. Let's look at cocoa. Again, come April, we had something like that. This is actually the April high or April low. While the stock market was up, money moved out of the commodities. So we have quite a few things like that. But if you look at gold, what do we notice with gold is that money moved into gold and it's been on a tear. Look, another all-time high today. Look, it's impossible not to get that psychological high of 4,000, really. Not a call, but yeah, it just keeps going and going. Cocoa is telling us something. But oil was another one. which has been on a downer again, and he just collapsed again today a bit more. So yes, oil is down again. Also, I think for a flash moment, we had where's the news? Let me see if I can post it from President Trump's table. If I can, yep, copy it right here. Okay, another one. Let's have a look. There you go. So there was I wouldn't call it a threat, but there was just a message right here regarding the Israeli Palestine unrest, Middle East unrest, if I can say. Of course, we know the 7th of October massacre happened, and of course, he wants peace in the Middle East, one way or the other. I think following this, there's been a deal, and well, I don't know if Hamas accepted the entire deal, but they were given one last chance, of course, or they were given another chance to accept the deal. But anyway, what we say, these things affect our traders, affects their lives at risk. God help everyone there, but it does affect crude oil. So crude oil, I believe for a moment there, we almost got a spiky. You couldn't really see. I think it was just at the last moment. It was a bit of a consolidation right here. It's just very tiny. But again, it's not a big deal. But I think Hamas accepted this already anyway. But crude oil, like I've been talking about, it's been on a multi-year low and it's been collapsing. President Trump wants a cheap oil or cheaper oil. And of course, this is also saying there's been a slow in the economy. So we know there's economy slowing down, but again, stocks are all-time high. So anyway, it's still not catching beats at the moment. I am expecting. I think every now and then it kind of feels like it's at a cost consolidation. Hopefully, it might test the 60s again, which is where it is right now. Test the low of the 60s, see if it can get a bounce before we start putting in beats all over again. But yeah, um, third day of the government shutdown, so we have to rely on the private data which has been provided. So there was focus on ISM services today, PMI forecast, which was 51.8 versus 52 in August, and which is an insight into economic momentum. Also, the market started off high, but kind of fizzled out a bit. But we got the internals and quite a few bounced up as well. Gold, like I've just talked about now, it's on a seventh week gain, trading. I think it was 3888 closing right now. Again, there's a rate of a host of a rate. There's a hope of a rate cut, while oil prices remain steady for 8 week drop because OPEC are signaling potential production hikes. There's on fair stability in the Middle East. Nothing there, escalating as it is right now. We expect peace right there. Okay, the next one I'm looking at is Tesla and Netflix. We talked about this a few days ago. This is Netflix. Is it NFLX? I think it is. Yes, Netflix. Netflix is being, yes, like I did say, people talking about, Tesla talking, Musk championing the cancel Netflix culture, which is going on here. Couldn't get it in my mouth. So while Netflix is down, I think that the charts did actually show potential reversal, but also if we look at Tesla, so Netflix has been down just about, this entire week, not a lot, but if you look at Tesla as well, what do we have? Tesla's actually had a huge reversal, which happened yesterday. But again, if you look at these things are the setup did actually show a reversal because Tesla has actually had a momentous rally from the lows of 300, in fact, for the lows of 200 to a high four something where it is right now, almost touching 500. So that's a huge reversal. So I think that's just expected. But one thing I keep saying, it's not really the Musk story that's driving down Netflix. I think right now people need to understand that what we have is purely what's the word again? It's purely technical. That's what's causing this whole lot. So it's not really the story. Yes, the story is driving this market. I think we do have AI, and nothing matters in this more in this market anymore. Like I keep saying, just look at the tape, look at Trump, and take your trade. So I think I did say that, right now I'm just going to purely look at level two, look at the prices selling at the lowest bid, look at the headlines and a hint of President Trump as the number one cancel catalyst, and go for it, go for the kill. But anyway, so that's something I'm looking at there. Also, JP Morgan, they had a Tesla rate. So again, it's a little bit pointless talking about the market is because it just feels like there's an economic boom, but we know we're on a new path, and I'm just lost like everyone else. Everyone is bidding it up. I see nothing here. I mean, you can't shut this market. It's just on a huge drive. The dollar is literally collapsing, and we can't really say anything against against this market. Look, the dollar is on from multi-year low, 3-year low right now, and it's just collapsing to 2021 level. Right now, it's still very low, so there's not a lot to talk about in this market other than cheap dollar driving the markets. And when the markets is hot, when the story is hot, valuation makes no sense. It doesn't mean anything. Again, tomorrow, 4th and 5th of October, which is this weekend, there will be the I think is it ECHR? There will be a flight show with, yeah, sorry, ACHR, I think Archer, yeah, ARCH. Lord have mercy. Okay, they will be having a flight show. Of course, the headquarters in California hasn't actually been doing Archer Aviation. Let's see. ACHR, I'm sure it is. Yeah, there you go. ACHR. So I was right first time. Yeah, Archer Aviation having a show. And look at that. This is just going from its highs of 10 to lows of 1. And it's just beating back up right now. So that's something there to look out for as a potential weekend catalyst. Something might get announced. And hey, who knows? We might see another all-time high. Well, we might see something going into next week. Apple hit an all-time high yesterday. And it keeps going on that drive. So Apple is an all-time high. Amazing, amazing. I believe there was a huge cry, not a cry, good cry, of course, on the a lot of people were pleased with, or Apple investors, especially even Apple, Tim Cook on the iPhone 17. There's huge demand. So that's a good one there. Apple, kissing all-time high. Also, the last time, I was going to say, just as a point to note here, the last time the SPY lost 50 points was during the 2018 Fed shutdown. So, but right now, this is 2025. We're not seeing any correlation. That's actually the last time the market had a shutdown as well. So we're not seeing any much correlation. But there's something I wanted to data I saw today, which is actually quite interesting. One more thing as well was Palantir. There was a Palantir news today. Um, Quite unfortunate. I think sometime it was a FUD that was fixed, but look, Palantir has been half the time the story is already in the market. And if you have a look, I'm just going to post the key headline here. They Palantir had a report of a flawed communication network. And of course, we had a 7% dump in Palantir. Look, that's Palantir all-time high. So expectedly, I think it's just a random key reversal as we saw. So is this another reversal for another potential higher next time? Who knows? But after hours right now, trading is up about 2%. Doesn't mean much because the volume is quite low this time. We'll see. But one key thing I wanted to point out today is this data which I saw. Um, let's see if I can just grab it again. Okay. So looking at the different sectors and how they've been performing. So if anyone can see this quickly. So looking at the different sectors that we have in the US market or the state in the US market, I think based on today, not a lot of difference. I think fairly, probably wouldn't say more balanced, but there's a lot more up. Like I said, the internals, they participated differently. If you look at the healthcare sector, over the year. It's been poor, but tech has been amazing. Also, the consumer discretionary communication services and financial services and industry. So I probably will say from 11 sectors out, we have six sectors is driving this bull market right now. Some are picking up a bit later, but you can't just have all your investments scattered all over. You got to be a bit focused. And of course, again, diversification is your friend. So you got to understand how this sector plays instead of just buying at random. Again, understand the sector plays, you know, go for the kill patiently and then make it work. So anyway, until we catch again next time, I think that's about it really. You enjoy your weekend, spend the weekend, do a bit of research if you can, unwind, relax, stretch your legs, and then we'll take it again. I think that's about it. Yep. And then we go again on the field next week. And yeah, have a good weekend. Thanks everyone. Take care.